So we spent the night crossing the border from Ukraine into Hungary, and now this morning we're driving from Hungary and we're in Slovakia, and then we're going to go up to Poland, and eventually we're going to get to Warsaw because a friend of ours, this guy's going even though the light is red, so might as well go too. A friend of ours bought a van for us in Lithuania, and so he is driving our van from Vilnius to Warsaw, which is about a 7 hour drive, and we're driving from where we are here all the way up to Warsaw as well, which is also about a 7-8 hour drive. And then we'll have our own van, and hopefully we can use that to take more stuff across. Here we are crossing into Poland. Just like that. There's no border between the Schengen countries, and it'd be really cool if someday Ukraine is able to join that as well, and we can just have freedom of movement. We just went to this tactical supply store in Poland, and we bought 40 sets of gloves, like good ones with kind of protection around the knuckles and this part. And also we bought 5 USB rechargeable flashlights, basically everything that they had that we got from the list from our friend who's about to be on the front. And the Polish people there were so nice to us, and they gave us a discount, and they understood our cause. And Oksana was speaking to them in Ukrainian, and they understood when they spoke back in Polish, and she just said, "Thank you guys so much for helping everything." And it was such a nice thing, and by the end they were even crying out of their just emotional support out of this. So we're really thankful to the people of Poland for their support. What a nice castle here in Poland. Gas station in Poland, full tank of gas is 75 bucks. So it turns out that we are close to Warsaw, about 11 minutes away, and there's someone here who's going straight to Ukraine tonight. And so these gloves and some other things that we just bought, we're taking it to them, and they'll already be on the way. Pretty cool. So we dropped off the gloves and flashlights at this place and some other stuff too. Hopefully that stuff will make it to our friends who has a group of like 87 volunteers basically who have joined the Territorial Defense Force, which is just local people in their community that say, hey, I want to protect my community. Those people that just volunteered don't have that many things. So like knee pads, gloves that are good. They don't have any kind of night vision thing, which is really critical. Basically, they are looking for things just to be more prepared in the worst case scenario. So here's our van that we just got. And our friend brought it from Vilnius, Lithuania, and now he's heading back right here in this vehicle on the right. And basically here we're in the parking lot of the Warsaw train station, as you can see behind me. And this is where we met, and we were here in the parking lot. He got here before us, and this car right here, this blue Ford, some other Ukrainians were getting picked up by some relatives or somebody, and then for some reason this guy's key is stuck in his car. Let's see if it's still stuck here. Yeah, it is actually, and it won't twist, it won't pull out. And so Oksana offered them a ride to where they're going, which is only 20 minutes away. So amazing that we basically bought this van to help people, and before we even leave the parking lot, an opportunity presented itself to help people. Hopefully Oksana will drive safely, because it's 1 in the morning in a vehicle that she's never driven before. Oh, and there's a cat with them in the car, so hopefully the cat will make it too. Well, it's almost 2 a.m. and unfortunately those 2 guys are trying to help him open his car, but it hasn't worked out yet. So we left him our telephone number just in case. But at least for us, the successful delivery of the van was great. That was our goal of the past couple days or so. It's not quite as large as this huge Mercedes Sprinter that we borrowed. There are other people we've heard about maybe who have stuff that we can already carry. So we will see if we can just link up with people and go from here. So fuel is starting to run quite low in Ukraine, and so we'll actually buy a bunch of fuel in Warsaw. So we got 4 of these 20-liter containers, and so we fill that up with diesel, and then when Oksana enters Ukraine, the people who will take it further, they will have gas already ready to go, and they won't have to stop somewhere and wait in a really long line to try and get diesel.
If you want to put it in the back for the transport.
So the store we were just in, this guy had some bulletproof vests that don't have the actual bulletproof plates inside of them. However, he said he has a friend who can get some from the Czech Republic, and he wants to resell them, but it looks like this is something unofficial. And these impact gloves are apparently really great because they have pads on the inside here, and also the protection on the outside as well. So we're getting a bunch of the medium and large sizes, and also small. Okay, good morning from Warsaw. Oksana will drive to Krakow, pick up a load of stuff, and then take it to the border. And from there, some of our friends will meet her on the Ukrainian side and take it even further. So hopefully she'll drive safely. We're military stores here in Warsaw, and I'm looking for tactical vests that can hold AK-47 magazines in the front. And so far, only ones that I've seen are a place that has just a few, and they're really expensive. And this place that I just visited here, they said that they had some and they're all sold out. So I'll keep looking around. So I was in this 511 tactical store, and there was full of boxes in the middle of these vests actually that I'm looking for. They're just quite expensive still, 200 bucks. But these are made in the US, whereas the other ones are made in China, and they were basically the same price. And they also do not have the pouch on the front that allows you to put the AK-47 magazines inside of there. The Caliber store didn't have any options either. They had guns, but they didn't have any plate carriers, which is what I'm looking for at the moment. But he gave me a recommendation for another place to go to. The store I just was at, I walked in and said, "Hey, do you have plate carriers?" He said no. And I said, "Do you have the pouch that you can put in front of the plate carrier for AK-47 magazines?" And he said, "Unfortunately, no." And I said, "Do you have any AK-47 magazines?" He said no. I said, "Thank you," and walked out. I would record, but you don't really want to record in a gun shop without asking permission first. Something else that I'm looking for is a special kind of radio that's quite expensive. It's more than $1,000 for a pretty good sized thing, and it apparently has a really long transmission range, and it's not something you can just find on Amazon. I haven't even seen it for sale in the US at all, actually, but I have seen it in some online shops here in Poland. So this store has been by far the best one so far. They have the plates themselves, actually, that you can buy class 3 plus. They have the plate holders that are the 511 ones, which are expensive but apparently really good quality. A guy in there, a Polish guy, was telling me lots of details about it. And so there's other people in here that are helping, you know, defend their neighbors. So very thankful for them. Okay, it's Saturday in Warsaw, and unfortunately a lot of stuff is closed on the weekend. And I got some more info on which kind of radio I need to buy exactly, and also which vests and how many vests actually to get. Money exchange place is closed today. I'll have to look for another one. So Oksana is actually in Ukraine right now. Last night she took a load from our friends in Krakow, filled it up with humanitarian aid, and then also 2 Americans went with her as well. And so she got a full van in, which is great. And then those people had some contacts who said, "Hey, we actually have some stuff we're trying to get in too, but our rental car won't let us take our stuff across the border." And so this is the exact purpose that we bought the van for. She'll cross over to the European side, pick up their stuff, take it into Lviv, and then come back out for another load if, you know, something just pops up out of the blue like all these previous ones have. Okay, so I just exchanged $4,400 for 18,568 Polish zloty, which is an exchange rate of 4.22. And so now I can go buy some stuff. So I've driven about an hour and a half outside of Warsaw to go to the specialized radio store, and they have the kind that has encryption and all the like different frequencies and stuff that they need. And while I was on the way, I got a call from Oksana, and basically their van, their new van that we got, is for some reason having problems with the shifting gears. We're going to try to find a mechanic here who can fix it up for us. Our guy that did the initial inspection didn't have that issue, and he drove at 700 kilometers with no problem. So I guess something just popped up. So we just bought $3,000 worth of radios, 5 of them. They have the right encryption capabilities, the right frequencies that they can use. I know that they're anxiously awaiting them because communication is key. And if they need some more in the future, this guy has a few more, but he's selling them fast. Eastern Europe is getting more and more Americanized. It turns out that everybody likes to have a car and then have a standalone McDonald's on the rest stop at the side of the road somewhere. In Ukraine, it's actually pretty difficult to find food on the road as you're driving between cities. Basically, the only option is gas stations, and the only thing they have is those cheap hot dogs that are spinning on those things. But when you look at a place like the US where you can stop at any exit and you have 4 or 5 different food options right on the highway, it's pretty convenient, actually. When you don't have it, then you realize, what a benefit it is to have stuff and stores and places to, get food easily accessible. Made it back into Warsaw, and I'm 20 minutes away from the tactical vest and bulletproof plate store, and just driving through downtown Warsaw. Looks nice. Okay, so I bought 2 bulletproof plates here, and also 11 vests. So 1 complete set, and then 10 more for the guys in Ukraine that already have the plates. This Polish guy that sold it to me was very nice. He even helped me carry it to the car, which was a good couple hundred meters walk away. He was saying that basically he thinks Poland will be next after Ukraine if Ukraine is not able to keep the defense up. Thank you, Poland, for helping support Ukraine, and everyone's just trying to keep their freedom. So the 11 vests and 2 bulletproof plates, which makes 1 complete vest set, were $3,400. It's Sunday here in Warsaw, and even the grocery stores are closed, so I can't do any shopping. But I can walk around and enjoy the nice park here, and hope that maybe someday Ukraine will be back to the same thing. These people that I'm staying with here, American-Ukrainian couple, they live in a village just west of Kiev, whereas I live on the other side, and their town now is under Russian occupation, and there's a group chat amongst their town of what's happening, basically. And there were some people, an old guy who was missing, and people were asking in the chat, has anyone seen him? A few days later, it turns out that they found him. He had been shot by the Russians, and he had an organic farm, and he was farming meat and chickens using organic methods, and they were buying eggs and butter from him. Now they're in Warsaw for the time being, refugees, and I guess I am as well. Actually, my home is just outside of Kiev, but thankfully I can continue to work remotely. Sure enough, Aldi's closed. Isn't that interesting? Hopefully you're not hungry. I am. Okay, so I'm slightly behind on filming, but I already went to the airport this morning and picked up 2 suitcases, and those suitcases were stuff that I had ordered from Amazon. Knee pads, helmets that I had purchased off of eBay that were ballistic protection level 3+, a drone, and sleeping bag, and some other stuff that was brought over from the US.
Are we like repacking a little bit?
Yeah. and I put the plates in here so we can try it out. I don't know how I fit it on.
Aaron, they're gonna shoot you if you go so slow. Should I keep filming?
You can turn it off for a second.
Okay.
I only gotta put on. Hopefully I haven't gotten shot by that point. This is how you take it off. Put it on. So hopefully someone will make good use out of it. Okay, so here's the suitcases with all of the knee pads and the other stuff, the drone and some other things from the US. Plus we put the vest in there, and Oksana's working on making a shelf.
Aaron is filming us instead of being helpful.